old are you, and what do you do as a job?
Okay, my name's Alyssa Richardson. I'm 30 years old and I'm a chef.
Awesome. So what are your roles and responsibilities in your job?
It depends on what section you are in the day. So in a kitchen, there's a large hierarchy. You might be positioned in different sections. So on a day, my roles normally is to consolidate stock, to see what I need for the day, make sure it's there, prep it, get ready for service. Might be lunch, might be dinner, might be an event. Got to basically make sure I have everything that I need to get to that service time.
Awesome.
And then clean up, pack up, get ready for the next day.
So how long have you been in your current job? How long have you been chefing?
I've been chefing for 5 years now.
Yep.
I did it when it started when I was 25. It's kind of like a quarter life crisis situation. But yeah, I love it.
That was my next question, whether or not this was your first job and what you did before and why you changed.
I studied architecture for 5 years, which I loved but didn't love enough to pursue further. I always wanted to be a chef, but my mum was like, no, you can't be a chef. It's too hard. The hours are too terrible. Working weekends sucks. But I love cooking so much that when you love something enough, it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
So I learned that the harder way. But in hindsight, I do have a bachelor in architecture and I can always go back. It's always good to have options later down the track. You don't know what's going to happen. So yeah.
That's really good advice. What subjects, when you were in high school, what subjects did you do and why did you choose them? Did they link to what you wanted to do now or did they link to what you wanted to do then?
In high school, subjects I did were all design or, what I need to get into architecture. So I did graphic design, I did 2 art classes, I did maths and I did English. So that was just all the things I needed to get done.
And once you decided that you didn't want to do architecture anymore, you wanted to become a chef, did you have to do any extra study or like how did you become a chef from there? What did you have to do?
So there's 2 ways. You can do a course without having an apprenticeship, so it's a year course, and then you try and get the training that you need to be able to be qualified chef. Or you can get an apprenticeship, which is 3 years, so you go to school 1 day a week and you work the other 4 days. And so it's like it's a good balance. It's like you've got enough hands-on approach as well as you're learning at the same time. So you feel a bit more well-rounded rather than just studying, which is can be a bit, too much for some people. Yeah.
So when you did your apprenticeship and you went to TAFE, what's the name of the qualification that you have to become, or that you need to get to become a chef?
I've got a certificate 3 in cookery.
Awesome.
And you can do a certificate 4, which is also if you wanted to do further on to like hotel management as well, or further on management. But all you need essentially is certificate 3, and if you have some experience, you can be considered to have a certificate 4 anyway.
Yeah, great. In the chef world, how much do you earn, or how much can you earn?
Well, it really depends. So as an apprentice, you get paid by the hour, and you're not earning that much. You're only still learning. You're probably earning between $40,000 and $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
As you graduate and qualify, so you go from first year apprentice, second year apprentice, third year apprentice, all pay increases, and then you've got a commis chef, a chef de partie, then you got, or sometimes people call them a line cook, a sous chef, a head chef, executive chef. So each bracket that you progress up, you will get a different pay increase. And normally, once you finish an apprenticeship, it's only between $5,000 to $10,000 pay increase every time you go. So an executive chef, say you could be on a couple $100,000 a year, but if you were only a sous chef, maybe you might be on 80 or 90, and less. So probably average like most people between probably that 60, 75, maybe 80 is in your normal brackets.
Awesome. And in the field, is there high employment opportunities?
Oh, definitely. High employment, for sure. Every restaurant I've ever worked in, always looking for chefs, and they're always looking for people that really care about what they're doing. So it's never-ending employment opportunities.
That's great. And so how did you get your job? Where did you look? Did you Google it? Did you look in newspapers? Did someone tell you?
I personally found it on Seek. Like I just did a heap of applications. Like getting an apprenticeship, especially a bit older, is a little bit harder. But when you're coming out of school, you do a pre-apprenticeship or things like that, it's quite easy to get a job, I think.
Yeah, awesome. And what's hard about your job, or what do you like about your job?
Hard is kind of like juggling time management. So like the balance between having all the things you want to do in your personal life and in your professional life. But I also love it because I feel like I learn so much in a day of work. Like I work with so many different people and I can be having a whole different thing I've never done before. And it's like, it never stops. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, awesome. And what traits would someone have to be in your job?
I think you definitely have to be somewhat determined because it can be a very, it's a hard long term. It's like you really have to have passionate. So if you're determined, have passion, that's really all you need.
Yeah, awesome. And where can your job take you? Is there travel opportunities? I know you spoke a little bit before about the higher positions, but yeah, could you tell us a bit more about where the job can take you?
It can literally take you anywhere. It's just something that's, because it's not really language based, it's like physical thing. You can really pretty much go anywhere or travel anywhere or do it anywhere, because even people that you work with here in Melbourne, they're normally from all over the world. So it's one of those things that like food is like a universal language. You don't really need a specific thing. As long as you have the basic skills and you can kind of communicate by showing each other, it's really not that hard. You can do anything.
Awesome. That sounds great. Thank you so much, Alyssa.
Thank you for having me.